Not too long ago, I went on a real life elk hunt. And in this video, we're going to be comparing elk hunting in real life to elk hunting in the game. Alright, so the weapon I used in real life is this right here. It's a Sig Cross and it's chambered in 300 PRC. It's a bolt action, but it kind of looks like an AR. So we're going to hop in right in here and I'm going to pick out the closest thing there is to it. Honestly, take a look at this gun. Take a look at the gun I used in real life. They're pretty dang similar. This one just happens to be semi-automatic, but the other one was bolt action. We'll talk about that later. Let's go ahead and customize it. Let's try to make this look as similar as possible. The one in real life's pretty sweet though. It's green, carbon fiber barrel, 300 PRC, but in the game, 300 Magnum's the closest thing we got. Pretty dang close to that right there, honestly. Maybe that. That's probably as close as we're gonna get. I did have a suppressor, but unfortunately we don't have suppressors in the game. When it comes down to scopes, on mine, I actually had a 3x18. In this game, unfortunately, we just don't have that. We're going to have to work with the best we got, which is probably going to end up being a 4-12. Closest thing we got is pretty good. In real life, actually pretty cool. I had a scope cam. You can take a look whenever I was target shooting right here. The reticle, it's got a lot of numbers in it. That's so that I can actually make adjustments for bullet drop in the field on the fly super quick. In the game, looking at this, probably the closest reticle would be something like one of these. Maybe even that one, but realistically, I'm just going to stick with this reticle. I don't think it's such a big deal in the game. Plus, I've already bought it. As for binoculars, I actually had stabilizing binoculars. In the game, it pretty much stabilizes them myself, so we'll just say this works. As for gear, probably one of the only things I don't have in the game is like a bunch of honey buns and beef jerky sticks. But overall, the terrain, give or take, is pretty similar. We was in the Rocky Mountains. Overall, pretty similar to this. And you know what? Let me pick an elk call. In real life, we didn't really use like a bugle call? Actually, that's not true. We did have a bugle call. It just didn't work. Where was we hunting elk? We were not down here in like the flat land because the elk, they just really like the mountains. They like the tough stuff. In real life, there's like houses down in the flat part. That's one reason why the elk wouldn't be there. So we're going to go straight into it. We're going to move to a little bit more mountainous region. That's probably where, well, real life, we'd probably find the elk. Let's go right up here. Oh, wow. The Rocky Mountain Elk Outpost. Perfect. Our real life strategy was to kind of like hike up to a high point and then look over all kinds of stuff. From there, we'd either hope to see an elk or hope to see something that leads us to elk and then pretty much go for it. So let's go up to a high point and just see if we can see stuff. Usually I hunt elk quite a bit differently in the game. I'm just running around sprinting until I run up on an elk. But today, let's try it a little bit different. Let's take our glass, let's look up there. The unfortunate thing about this game is that the render distance, if you don't know, meaning the distance at which an animal spawns in, is only 400 yards. If there was an elk right there, it's too far away. It wouldn't show up anyhow. So that does make it a little bit harder and a lot different than real life. We were glassing them from like over a mile away. I mean, here's the footage. You could see them. They were blurry. They were far away, but we were actually seeing them. Tell you what, we're going to move again. We're going to move over here. All right, now we've moved up to a little bit more mountains and stuff. We're just going to glass all the side of these mountains until hopefully we end up seeing an elk. I don't feel like they're going to like that stuff as much because there's no trees on it. And the reason that they go to the mountains is to feel safe and feel cover. So really during the day, or at least on my elk hunt, they wanted to go into the thick stuff because the sun was hot. They wanted somewhere they'd sit down and stay cool during the day, and then they'd get up and move in the morning and evening. But I mean, during the mornings and evenings, they're probably likely to be out here in these little mountain fields feeding and stuff. That was a really good spot we were looking, is like in this stuff in the morning and evening because, well, they could go in from the trees in the middle of the day and then just poke out there in the evening and get some good food. Or down here by this pond is probably a really good spot. Oh, there goes us a cougar. So mountain lions were definitely in the area we were hunting. We never seen them though. Never seen them. Did they see us? Maybe, but we definitely didn't see them. But interesting thing about where I was is that the deal was if you seen one, then you shot it. So let's get down and let's see if we can take this thing out. Pretty good. Oh, don't run, don't run, don't run. How was that? Oh, I missed it. Did I miss him twice? No chance. Dude, I just missed that twice. Roll the replay. I felt good about that. And now I just let shots ring out and there's a good chance it could scare some stuff away. But at the same time, you'll see how the elk acted whenever I actually did shoot it. So maybe, maybe not. Oh gosh, oh gosh. No, there's one. There's one right there. It didn't even move. They're getting a drink of water. That's one thing I learned about elk. is that they have to actively like drink water every day. A white-tailed deer, I'm from Kentucky, all right? I got white-tailed deer. They don't really have to drink water. They get it off like the dew and the stuff they eat. They don't really have to drink water that often at all. Elk, he said they have to drink water every single day. So they got to find a pond, a creek. They got to find something to drink water. And so that makes sense why they could definitely be out here drinking water right now. So from here, basically we'd stop. We'd get in a good spot and we'd just think about what's going on. He's 328 yards. Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with that? No. All right, we need to get closer. In real life, 328 yards, easy shot. We could get him, no problem. In the game, it's also a pretty easy shot. But we got to think what's the best option. It looks like we got some pretty good cover. We could probably sneak around here. We got to make sure that they don't see us. And there is multiple elk down there. So there's more than just one set of eyeballs. We're looking at him. Is he big enough? Yep, he's got antlers. Looks good to me. We got that cow, that cow, that cow. So we've got 8 eyeballs looking at us. And that's just the ones we see. What else we'd do is once we seen one elk, we'd take some time, we'd actually look around the edges and see if there was maybe more elk hanging around. Because, I mean, that's a good bull. But now right up here in the trees could be a massive one. And if you just do tunnel vision, you'd never see him. So we're going to take a second. We're just going to look over this hillside to see if maybe the herd's bigger than we think. Or maybe there's even an elk over here in between us and them that we could spook if we don't look for it. Good thing is I don't think he's going anywhere. And if he does go anywhere, he can't go that way. It's a cliff. He can go that way, but he's probably not going to go too far. This is good. I think we can get this guy. I think we can. But with elk, you never know. He seems to be almost broadside. That's a good shot. But I wonder if we can get closer and maybe work our way around like this to get a better shot. So here's what we're going to do. In real life, we wouldn't have a dog, first of all. Jamal, you're about to get put in the pound, son, if you don't get out of the way. But instead of just walking straight across this side of the mountain where they could potentially see us, in the game, I don't think they're going to. But in real life, we would back out. We're going to get on the other side of this hill where they can't see us, then work around and then come over the hill. That's exactly what we did in real life. We spotted the elk, we seen where they were, then we got down in a ditch and worked all the way up the ditch before we popped up way closer to them to get a better shot. We didn't just want to go out in the open. We used the hills and the terrain and the ditches and the points to our advantage to not be seen. So that's what we're going to do in this game to make it even more realistic. See, just by walking over here, now he barely can see us at all, and he's about to not be able to see us at all. See, just like that, he can't see us now. He just can't. Line of sight has been obstructed. So we're going to do that. We're going to get over here on the other side of this hill, keep getting lower and lower, and we should be able to work our way around. And we're going to look at our map. We know that he's right here. So really, we got a couple options as to how close we want him to get. If we needed to get within bow range, we could even walk all the way down here and around and then poke up around this ridge and then sneak in like that and maybe call him up to us. But I think what we're going to do is we're just going to sneak down, walk around, and sneak right back up here where the shot's going to be half as far as before. We're also going to get a little bit more of a broadside shot. Now, you always got to remember, with the time it takes to do this, he could be gone. He could get spooked by a coyote. He could decide he's done drinking. He could leave. So in real life, honestly, we'd probably just took that shot because the chances of him just deciding to leave randomly, one of them. Coin flip. You never know. But since it's a game, and I don't think he's going anywhere, we're going to pretend that our shooter can't shoot that far. I would say that usually you wouldn't run like this, but I mean, if he can't see you, he can't hear you, the wind is good, he can't smell you, running like this, I mean, I guess it's up to you. It's going to get your heart rate up, so it make it harder to shoot. Besides that, the elk has no idea we're here, so we can run if we want to. All right, now we're getting close. We're going to stop running. And you know what? We even walked over this peak, so we can even look over all this stuff now. Who knows? They could be a big elk anywhere. So we went from over there, and now we've switched to over here, and we've even got a couple trees for cover. Oh, all right, there he is. He's about 324, so about the same. But we got some trees in between us and him. So we're actually going to use those trees to our advantage. We're just going to get even closer. Now, we can't be loud because he can hear us now, and he can still see us if we're not really quiet, but we can actually use these trees to get a whole lot closer for a rifle shot. I'm going to poke out the edge and see if I can find the cow. Yep, there's the cow. So we know where they are. We're keeping the trees in between us and them. And now we just got to get close enough and execute. All right, this right here may be a good spot. Yep, now he's perfectly broadside, 230 yards. That's crazy. That's exactly how far I got on the real life elk. But now I'm just getting into position. I'm going to pull out my rifle. In real life, I wasn't able to get prone. Okay, now sometimes you can get prone, which is always a good thing, which is laying on your belly, like I am right now. Sometimes you could. In my elk hunt, there's actually like sticks sticking up, so I couldn't lay down or I wouldn't be able to see him. So we actually had to put up a backpack, and I had to lay my gun on the backpack and then pretty much shoot like sitting on my butt, which wasn't a problem, and it was about 230 yards exactly. Now on the real life hunt, he wasn't wide open. He was actually in the weeds when we spotted him, so we just had to sit there and be patient for like 10 minutes until he walked out. But now it's time to take this shot in the game. All right, we got our thing zeroed, 164 yards. He's a little bit further than that, but that's okay. And with the elk, we're going to want to aim for the lungs or heart, and that's pretty much all that shoulder and behind the shoulder region. So I'm gonna put it right there. He's down. Is he down? Do we shoot him again? Now here is the shooting sequence of the real life elk. It's a little bit different. Yeah.
Hit him. Baby.
Let's go. Another one or what?
No.
In the real life, he didn't go down as fast, but in the real life, he also didn't run as fast. Because in real life, you want to shoot an animal as many times as you can until it falls down, just in case one of your shots wasn't as good as you was hoping it would be. Here we go, walking up on the elk. Let's go ahead and reload just in case something weird happens. We're going to poke him with the gun. All right, he's not moving. I think he's dead. Let's stink and go, baby. We just got an elk. How big is he? Looks like a 6x6. Mine in real life was not that big, but okay, I don't care. We'll take it. 800 pounds right through the lungs. In real life, my shots were like right here, and then one was way back here. That was the moving shot. But you can see how big the lungs are. They're pretty big. We hit the lungs. He went down. We good to go. We just killed the first elk of the day. Let's see if we can kill a bigger one. This time, let's see if we can use the call to find him. There's a watering hole right up here. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at this mountain. But another thing about the game, it seems like if it's a drink time, they're going to be at a pond. If it's feed time, they're going to be on the feed. Real life, they do drink, they do eat, they do sleep, but it's a lot less scheduled. They kind of do it whenever they feel like it's best and whenever they can. I'm not seeing any elk right here. Maybe no elk at this pond. Let's try the other one. Let's try this pond down here. There may be some elk down here. And then we're going to pull out the call. So in real life, you usually use the elk call to either locate the elk or draw the elk towards you. We did call a little bit that first day, but once we spotted the elk, we really didn't have a reason to call because we already spotted him and we didn't need him to get any closer. That's kind of our thought process on not calling, I guess. We didn't really need him to move. But you gotta be careful too, because if you do blow the elk call, then every elk in the area is going to be looking your direction and it's going to be a lot easier to get spotted. Whether they decide to come to you or not, they're going to be looking. There's an elk. She's moving into the zone. So there, what we seen is a cow. Now, I'm just going to start by saying this too. I'm not an expert elk hunter. I've been elk hunting twice, and I got lucky enough to kill one. So I'm pretty much an expert. There's another elk, and then there's another elk, and then there's another elk, and then there's another elk, and they're coming out of the mountain. This is pretty sweet. We're going to sit here and watch them for a minute. There's not a guarantee there's a bull with them. If it was breeding season, there'd be a good chance there's a bull behind them, I guess. But also, they was saying that, like, with a group like this, typically there'll be, like, 1 or 2 bulls, but sometimes there'll be 0 bulls because they've already been shot. And then there was a replacement bull that come in, and then he got shot. So, I'm not seeing the bull. No bull. All we've got is a bull tag. Can't shoot. Can't shoot a cow. I didn't have a cow tag. I only had a bull tag. But anyways, I'm sitting here looking at this group. We've been watching the mountain. Nothing's came out behind them. Let's see if there's another watering hole we might be able to go to. I once killed the biggest elk of my life at this pond right here. The need zone disappears in 30 minutes game time. So that means if we're going to get in there, we got to do it now. Let's just see if we can hit the elk call. And I actually got a call just like that right here, bad boy. Let's go. Let's let it rip. We didn't use one like this in the thing. They had a smaller one that I guess was easier to pack around. Yeah, probably best just let somebody else do the calling. But you know what it's not best somebody else do? Pick up some merch at KendallGrayOutdoors.com. Let's hit this call one more time, and I'll show you what we got. Oh, we just got a reply. All right, let's do this quick. And lucky for you guys, if you use promo code GAMING10, all caps, you get 10% off whatever you want on the website. Here's actually the elk I killed, which you've already seen it in the video, but sheesh. fish. Looking good, baby. Let's go. It's a 5x5. It was fun. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the stuff you may be interested in. We got a knife. You can cut stuff up. You get this hoodie. It keeps the sun off of you and a slight breeze. Then we got trail cameras. If you like to fish, we got a full dang catfishing kit. Hats, t-shirts, minnow traps, bass fishing kits, knife sharpeners, survival kits. Christmas is coming up, you know what I mean? Backpacks, that way you can actually carry stuff in the woods. Yeah, we got some cool stuff. I really like all the stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't really sell it. But we even got some fishing gloves if you really like gloves to fish with. But yeah, KendallGrayOutdoors.com. Use promo code GAMING10. That's gonna get you a good little discount on anything you want to get. But now we just had an elk bugle at us, so we got to get on our. Oh, there it is, right there. Oh my gosh, no! Dang, it's fleeing! Oh, I was too busy. Let's see if we can stop him. You know what exactly? Oh my gosh, they're actually right here. What do I do? Do I shoot him with a bow? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is too much. This is too much. There's too much going on. Never done that before. I can't believe that. Vitally organ hit. Daggum, son. What are the odds, dude? I should have picked my head up, dude. And now we're in some thick stuff, so it's not like I just watched the elk fall over dead. Now we actually got to do some tracking. And I don't even know where this thing ran. Oh, here's some blood. Nope, there he is. He didn't go far. Oh, yeah. That was a frontal shot, but thankfully it hit what it needed to. I can't remember. Is this one bigger than the one we shot earlier? Like maybe the rack's a little bit bigger. Maybe the body's a little smaller. I just can't really tell. But as for elk hunting in real life versus in the game, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's a little bit different. At the same time, from my experience, what elk hunting is figure out how to find an elk and shoot it. You can do it however you want to, but just find an elk and shoot it. That's not easy to do, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. That's what you're trying to do. That sounds really stupid, but I feel like that's kind of what it is. Click right here for hunting down every single animal on the New England map, or right over here for hunting down a rare diamond bison.
Thanks for watching this video. Go to KendallGray1.com/shop. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. #Jesus, #GrayGang.